You were doing so well. Is it Nick? ContraPoints, whatever it is, whatever your real name is too. ContraPoints is certainly an apt name. Controversial. You I wouldn't say they're all controversial. Some of them are so well thought out, some of your opinions, and of late you've been getting a fair amount of attacks. Really do feel sorry for you. Um, some of them make logical sense. They're from very strange angles, but they seem fine enough. But you've come out with this video on diversity, and that was about 7 minutes in. I was following everything you said, and it all made nice sense. I go to university, and I know the talks you mean. Here we call them equality. That's what our teachers tend to push. The buzzword is equality. I'm going to change accent so everything's perfectly clear. You made a brilliant point about Monty Python and the way that they view women being very juvenile. I thought that's a perfectly apt way to put it, because it sees sex in a very comedic manner, very humor manner. I mean, if you're a feminist, certainly that seems like a very juvenile way to see sex and women. I would also say it's probably a very juvenile way to see the self from a man's perspective. You also don't seem to hold much in their own sexuality either. And that's the point I want to bring up. I mean, you talked about collating all these ideas, but you weren't... Like, you said that these people make you beholden to what you're saying, but either you're not listening, or you've not heard every side of every story, and you're not quite understanding the gravity of what you're saying. You've not collated it the way you think you must have. And I don't mean to attack you so much, because you've been getting so much of it, and some of it seems totally undeserved. And I just wanted to bring something to your attention. If Monty Python sees things in a juvenile manner, then you see, women and men and sexuality in general in a very black and white manner. Like, you're either one or the other. You're either feministic qualities or you're masculine ones. And I'm sure you'll shout that off and say, no, that's not what I mean, but that's certainly how it comes across when you then attacked women who like masculine things. Because you see those characteristics and those interests as masculine things. They're not. They're just human interests. I don't personally see gender as something that is so black and white. You may be physically one or the other. There are people who are not. People who are genetics are different. There are people who are just accidentally, their development followed the wrong path for whatever reason, and it has to change its mind. And then they end up having more than one set of sex organs. But even of the mind is never ever so black and white. You're never just female or just male. There are qualities that we assign to men, and there are qualities we assign to women. That's part of nature. But I would hope that as sentient beings we can understand that there are gradients of all these aspects. And a man may be perceived very effeminately, a woman may be perceived masculinely, but really all it is they're in a certain place within a gradient of a topic. And that's not exactly what society had in mind for that person, that gender that they have. I'll give you one example just to finish this off, just so I hope everything's clear. You take a group of men, a group of women, you make them watch the same documentary. They say that on average the men will remember, on average, numbers and factual information better than the women, but that the women will remember the emotions and the aspects of what happened socially better than the men. But you have to understand those are gradients. They will overlap. There will be women who remember every number, fact given, and there will be men who only concentrate on the fact that it was so devastating and that everyone died, or whatever it is, whatever documentary it's about. So if you're going to start collating information on sex work, certainly keep in mind that sexuality and gender are not black and white. And when talking about race, the same. When you're talking about poverty and the rich, when it comes to diversity there, it doesn't, it's just, you're right. You shouldn't be ignoring, you should be collating all the different opinions to take in all the experiences and understand that people may have learned something that you never thought of because they've been through different things. So that was a very good point from you. So yeah, I hope this keeps you beholden to the people you're talking about in every way. Have fun YouTubing, and I hope everything goes well and no one attacks you for this too badly, because most of it made sense. Thank you for listening.